Hearthstone is a card game that doesn't exist physically. Any information that we have about what the cards do is presented to us in-game. This is a trait which Hearthstone can take advantage of by balancing cards on the fly and keeping one card or one combination of cards from getting too overpowered. But how well do Blizzard utilize this tool? Is it something they maybe don't use enough, or maybe even too much? What's up guys, FalconePunch 55 here once again, and today I want to talk a little bit about Blizzard's use of card nerfs, and I want to highlight some of the best and some of the worst that they've done. Those of you with a really good memory will know that Blizzard do actually know how to buff cards as well as nerf them. No card in Hearthstone's history has ever been changed quite as many times as Unleash the Hounds. Originally stupidly broken, Unleash the Hounds was eventually changed into a 4-mana card with the same effect that it has now. It was then deemed too weak by Blizzard and buffed to a 2-mana card, that's right, buffed, and then eventually nerfed again as that was considered too strong, and then we had the Unleash the Hound that we all know and love. Blizzard changed this card several times, a trait that they've since shown they don't like doing, as it messes with the ecosystem of the game a little bit too much. But they did make Unleash the Hounds work. Since then, well, since the Starving Buzzard nerf anyway, Unleash the Hounds has never been played too often where it's been considered overpowered, but it's also never not been played by any large period of time. It's generally always seen, maybe even just as a one-of, in the metagame. Now to compare the Unleash the Hounds nerf, which I consider a good nerf, into what is probably one of the worst nerfs, and you know exactly the one I'm talking about, it's Warsong Commander. And before we start a huge argument here and riots, and I just want to make clear, I hated original Grim Patron. I was very much on the side of knowing that something needed to change about the deck. But this was excessive. They essentially took Warsong Commander and removed her from the game. I would be genuinely shocked if you've seen her played or played her yourself since, as she is pretty much a strictly worse raid leader. And this is the type of nerf that we've experienced a few more times than we'd like. And with the way that Hearthstone does continue to evolve with format changes, etc., you'd think that by now they'd have a better way of dealing with this sort of problem. Now let's be completely fair, in the most recent nerf, no card was actually completely killed. And by that I mean made so weak that nobody would even ever imagine playing it ever again. Yes, Rockbiter Weapon and Charge aren't seeing play at the moment, but you can imagine a world where the correct cards come out or the correct metas happen, and these cards would see play again in the future, unlike Warsong Commander. Charge in particular is an interesting one as they completely changed the card, and while it's no good now, it definitely could be in the future. There was some talk about it being played with Minotaur Alpha, and while that doesn't seem good enough, there's definitely a chance it could see play in the future. Maybe Blizzard are starting to get the hang of it. But Blizzard, what about the balance changes? What about the buffs? Well, I'd put my money on the fact that from this point on, Blizzard just won't do that, and if they ever did, it would be incredibly minor, and only ever a card in the classic set. Why? Because better, newer, more exciting cards is the whole reason that expansions exist. And if Blizzard start to make the older cards newer and more exciting, then some new players might not even bother buying expansions. You know, Blizzard do actually have to make money and put down the pitchforks. Blizzard is a company, Hearthstone is an asset. I mean, come on, it's a business. We all understand that. Blizzard needs to start making money. In Tavern Brawls too now, apparently. Ultimately, while I do miss Handlock, I can't think of another archetype that was rendered completely unplayable due to the nerfs. I think generally Blizzard can actually be commended for not completely killing decks. Even Grim Patron has found multiple different forms ever since. And generally I'm a huge advocate for change. That's not to say I dislike Hearthstone as it is now. I love the game, but to me everything that changes is only going to make the game better and fresher over time. And I'd love some more frequent nerfs, because more frequent nerfs would make the wait between expansions a little bit less painful. Thank you for watching, guys. As usual, you can check me out on Twitter, but also drop Hearthhead a follow and like on Twitter and Facebook. Subscribe to this YouTube channel and go and check out the website. Like the video if you liked it, drop me a comment with your thoughts, and I'll catch you again next week.